apologizing for being late. We had a little technical difficulties. Couldn't get the camera to work, couldn't get the mouse to work, couldn't get anything to work this morning. So we are running just a little bit late, and the markets have already opened without us. And here we are taking a look at the markets. Today we got a fun class. We're going to actually do some hedging, and we're going to turn on the autopilot and let the autopilot do a little bit of the trading for us. And I'm going to show you how that's done. We're going to trade the VWAP. Now, what is the VWAP? The VWAP is the volume weighted average price of a market, right? Okay, and we have the VWAP line that comes in, and we all know that the VWAP is kind of a tool or an indicator. Basically, it's just a moving average. It's got volume involved. And what it does is it kind of trails behind the market a little bit, and then the market likes to use it as a rubber band. It likes to come back to it. Now, a lot of times the reason the market comes back to it is because it kind of trails up behind it, right? It's real slow out into the afternoon, but in the morning it has a little bit more motion to it, a little bit more movement. Not quite as much as a traditional moving average, but nonetheless, what it does, it comes in and it will kind of trail behind the market like a moving average. This is a really super slow moving average, but out in the afternoon, it starts to get almost flat sideways. And now a VWAP only works on a intraday chart. It doesn't work on a daily chart. You have to do it on, a minute chart. And so I've got on here turned on. I've got the S&P 500 up here on a 1 minute chart. Now we're not going to do it on the S&P 500. We're going to do it on these other charts. Okay. And I think it's fun. It's a test environment. This is a demo account. We're going to do it in the demo account. I'm going to show you what I want to do. I'm going to set up the autopilot just to trade the VWAP. And we're just going to trade for the entire day. Now, this isn't something that we can do here this morning. It's something that we can, and just kind of trade with catching, small trends in the market. We're not going to try and get in on the yellow and get out on the red, or, get out on the retracements, or we're not going to try and take little small trades like that, little scalps. We're going to try and trade for the entire day. The problem with this strategy is if the market never crosses the VWAP, we never get in. So there's going to be days where if you turn this strategy on, you won't make any money. And that's okay. I mean, there's going to be that type of day anyway. No matter how you trade, there's going to be days where your system just doesn't work. And so this is the VWAP system, okay? And it's a kind of like drawing a line in the sand. Now, there's many ways that you can draw a line in the sand and say, if the market's above this line, I'm going to be long. If the market's below this line, I'm going to be short. And one of those ways is by using options. Now, yesterday, if you remember, we pulled up our S&P 500 and we put an iron butterfly on there. And what we did is we sold a call and a put at the money, 0 days till expiration. And I'm watching these VWAPs because I want it to cross that VWAP. If it crossed that VWAP, I have to jump over here and turn this on because I want it to be. Some of these other markets haven't quite got there. That one's up there a ways. We got a little bit of time. If I have to, I'm going to have to jump in here and turn this on. This one here, it looks like it's getting ready. So I'm going to come over to the autopilot and I'm going to turn it on here. VWAP hedge is what I've got it called. Now I named that myself. We come in here, indicators, the VWAP. And it's just going to be, I'm going to just trade quantity 1 and there's no time restraint on it. I'm just going to kind of be around today to watch it. So we're going to do market order on entry and everything else is turned off. Everything is turned off except for exit on primary signal. And we're just going to turn that on. So what it does is the VWAP, well, I got to set the VWAP up. So we're going to come into the VWAP setting. I got it set to magenta day, 0 bars, 1 tick, displayed, 1 buy for every sale. Actually, I got it all set up just the way I want it. That's just how I want it. You can take a picture of that right there. And we're going to come in and I'm going to save that as my default. It's already saved. But now we're going to apply that and we're going to turn on the autopilot. And we got the VWAP hedge. And we could put on time restraints so it stopped trading at a certain time. But I'm going to be around. So we're going to just say it just like that. Okay, so it's going to start trading. And actually, while we're here, why don't we go ahead and we'll set it up on the others as well. We just as well set it up on each one. And this is an autopilot, meaning this is just going to trade. Oh, it's not on that one. So chart. How come it's not working? Chart overlay VWAP is on. Oh. Wait a second. VWAP hedge. VWAP. VWAP. That's weird. Let's go see what the VWAP's doing over here. Preferences. VWAP. My defaults. Oh, so that has to be displayed. Okay. So now we're going to come back over to the autopilot. I think that was the problem. VWAP hedge. There we go. Okay, now it's selected VWAP, start the autopilot. All right, so I didn't have the arrows on that one. I couldn't see the arrows because there weren't any. So what it's going to do is as soon as it crosses the VWAP, it's going to go long. If the VWAP, if it then crosses below the VWAP, it'll flip our position and it'll go short. The problem with this strategy is that it could go long and short, long and short, long and short, long, and we get beat up, right? The whole idea is we want it to go above the VWAP and stay above the VWAP, or we're going to go below the VWAP and stay below the VWAP. It's currently below the VWAP. The problem with this strategy, if it doesn't ever go above the VWAP, we won't get into the market at all, and it could just tank and we'd miss out. All right. So it needs to cross the VWAP first before you get your first entry. Once you're in, and then it'll sit there and go back and forth across the VWAP. And if it goes above, it'll go long. If it goes short, it'll go short. Now, hold on one second. Let me drink some tea. So it's kind of a hedging strategy is the idea here. All right. And so what's going to happen is it's going to just enter the market and it's going to keep you in the market all the time, the whole day. But it's going to, if it's above the VWAP, it'll stay long. If it's below the VWAP, it'll put you short. And that's all there is to it. But it's got to cross the VWAP. And if it doesn't ever cross the VWAP, then you don't ever get into the market and you have a day where you didn't have any trades. All right. So I want to come down and show you what happened yesterday. Yesterday we were trading on the S&P 500 and we put on our wild eye, crazy eye, iron butterfly. And so what I did is I had the wings way out there with, I think I went out like 5 or 10 days out into the future on the wings, on the theta, on the time frame. And then on the sold calls at the money, I sold a call and a put with 0 days till expiration, right? And we collected the premium on that. And that turned out okay. I wanted to put this into the spreadsheet for you. And having my computer die on me this morning, I spent more time working on my computer than I did on class prep. So I apologize. I'm going to do this live in front of you right now. We are going to, I took a picture of my accounting window so that I could enter this stuff in for you. So right now we're just waiting for it to cross the VWAP. All right. If the market doesn't cross the VWAP, we're in trouble. Now, what I've got down here, you see we're up $1,000. Now, I had to go to a funeral yesterday. I got called in the morning and my friend said, "Hey, did you know there's a funeral?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness." Actually called me the day before yesterday. And so I wasn't prepared for that. And when I put on my options, I was like, okay, I'm going to change this around. I want to have my options, not the wings, but I want to put them back down and do the wild eye, crazy eye with the wings being at the money. So still the wild eye, crazy eye, but I liquidated those. It was almost no loss. A couple bucks is all it was. And then I took those options and I rebought them at the money, right at the money where the market was currently trading. And I let those run, but they have 1 day till expiration or 2 days till expiration, right? 0 days. So 1 day, yesterday we sold them. And then I also bought the protection and I left the protection running. All right. I didn't get out. I didn't liquidate it. I let it go through the night, and that's what happened this morning. It's ended up we're up $1,000 on our insurance policies, even though we liquidated out yesterday. That's pretty cool, right? Because I took those wings, which were way out a long ways away, and they were just going to decay and die. And I thought, well, I'm going to leave, and I'm not going to be able to sit here and tend my computer. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to have to roll. I don't want to have to, add. I don't want to have to do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take my insurance premiums, and that's expensive, and I'm going to put them right at the money. And I put them out 1 extra day. So the sold options took off $316. So let's go add that into our spreadsheet. That's what I want to do for you here. I apologize for being a little scatterbrained today. Just having my computer be dead when I wake up and come in and sit down is not good. All right, so here's our today is the 29th. Today's not Monday. I got something wrong with my spreadsheet. Is it? Today's Monday the 27th. Where did I go wrong? 15 is the 15th of Wednesday. It is Thursday, Friday, 17, 18, 19, right here. This is 20 May. That makes this 21 May. So I had a little bit of a error on my spreadsheet. So that makes Monday is the 27th. That's 5, 6, 7. There we go. 27 May. That makes this 28 May. 29 May. And you can't type. 29 May. So we're going to update our spreadsheet here. I will fix this after we get, because we go all the way till Friday in this month. 33. We still got 2 more days. Okay, so on Monday, look, I didn't enter in all my, doggone it, I can't remember what we did on those days. I think I got some mistakes in here somewhere. All right, so we're on Wednesday. Oh, this is what we're filling out here. So today, Tuesday, we did, we made 110 and 5. That was 115, and then we lost 40 and 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 70 from 170. So we did 70, and then we had 110, 115. So at 30, 45. So we ended up making $45 yesterday, right? We didn't have a very active morning. We did. The market was crazy. I just didn't trade a lot of it. And then we ended up with $316 on our Wild Eye Crazy Eye that we sold the options on. Okay, so that was that one. Now today, we're coming in and we're going to liquidate our insurance policy. Now that was up over $1,000 at one point, and I didn't take it because I was like, well, I want to do it in front of the class. So, oh well, it cost me it cost me over $200 to wait. But right at the very opening bell, that thing was up over $1,000. So we're going to liquidate those. And I'm just going to mark it out of them, see if it'll let me out of them. Yeah, okay, so it let me out of them, and we closed out $847.50. So we're going to come back to our spreadsheet, and we're going to put that down here because it's Wednesday. So far on our options, oh, wait, this is not stock options. This was over here, futures options. On here, we just made, on that Wild Eye Crazy Eye from yesterday, the insurance policy paid off with $814.50. So I think that's a good lesson, right? That's a pretty good lesson. We actually made more money on our insurance policy than we made on our Wild Eye Crazy Eye selling our options yesterday. By doing that, and I put that at the money and just let it run overnight, I didn't take the insurance premium off, and it went up. We made an extra $800. Had we taken that insurance policy off, we wouldn't have made that $800. I mean, if we had taken the insurance policy off at the same time we took off the Wild Eye Crazy Eye yesterday, we wouldn't have made that extra money. So putting that on at the money, that's a pretty good lesson for us today, right? Maybe we ought to do that more often. We'd try that more often. So what was that? Well, let's go do it. Let's go put on another one. And we're going to do that here on the S&P 500. This is the 1-minute chart. Let's go. We're going to let these run here. I need it to go above the VWAP for our autopilot to take hold. Oh, this one has. Okay, we just broke above the autopilot on the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ's in. And see how the arrow came in at the VWAP and it just put us in above the VWAP. Now the arrow, if it drops below the VWAP, it'll reverse that and put us short the VWAP. So it's not going to make any money trading back and forth above the VWAP. I mean, if it goes way up and then turns around, comes all the way back down, we'll lose all the money. This is a hedging strategy. So the only way you make money is at the end of the day, or unless it meets you could set it up so that if it hit a certain profit, you could do that. You say, well, if it hits $500 in profit, I want to take it off. I didn't do that. That's another strategy that we can run. Maybe we'll try that tomorrow. All right, as we do these different hedging strategies. We can also use the magic stick to do this as well. Remember, we talked a little bit about the magic stick, but I want to use the autopilot on the VWAP and just trade it like this and see what happens. So it'll be, where will the market be at the end of the day? Will it be much higher than the VWAP? Will it be much lower than the VWAP? Will it be right at the VWAP? Will we have gone $1,000 up and all the way back to zero? Will we have gone, $500 up and back to zero? Or will we have gone $500 up and that's where it closes? We end up with $500 at the end of the day. That's what this is going to do for us. Now, if it sits there and just wobbles back and forth across the VWAP, that's where we get in trouble. This strategy will kill you if it just wobbles back and forth across the VWAP, because it'll put you in, then short, then long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, and it wipes your account out. So you want this. This is a strategy that you want to do on what's going to be an active day. So we want to look at our news events, right? And we want to be able to kind of decide whether the market's going to be active or not. So let's go pull up our news events. And come on, news events. Give me 1 second. I need to drink some more tea. I apologize. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. Can you believe that? Corona. Maybe I got Corona. No, I've already had Corona, and it wasn't too long ago. Got to still have some immunity, right? I just feel like I got a little spring cold coming on, so we'll see. All right, so the Dow is starting to rally. Look at that nice little run on the Dow. But let's come in and take a look at what's going on with our news. And we want to see impact. Let's just see impacts 2. And today is Wednesday, and oh, there's nothing. We got Fed Williams speaking today at 11:45. That's the only thing that's going to move to the news today. And he's probably not going to move the news much. He's just kind of a rah, rah, rah. Then we got Fed Bostic speaking at 5, but that's tonight. We'll be out of the market by then. API crude oil. Crude oil is going to move at 2:30, but that's after the market, so we don't care. It's going to be a quiet day. I don't know if I don't know if this was the best strategy for that on a very quiet day. The look at Friday. Friday's going to be an awesome day. Of course, this is all at 6:30 in the morning, but that'll carry through. It'll be a busy day on Friday. Friday should be a good day. We could do this strategy on Friday. You generally want this strategy when the market's going to move and get away from the VWAP and never come back. You don't want it to ever come back and look back at the VWAP. But you can see it's just kind of trading across. Now, what if we wanted to do that? What if we said, well, Lan, I want to trade the VWAP, but if it ever hits $500, just take it off. I'm done for the day. I want $500. Above or below the VWAP, I don't care. Well, come into the Autopilot and set up a limit order right down here at the bottom. Okay, maybe we could do that on one of these. Maybe we'll do that since it's not got into the market yet. So, for example, this one, see, the VWAP's way up there. It's a long ways away. So it's got a lot of moving to go before it get back to the VWAP. It may never trade at all. But let's say if it makes $500, we'll just take it off and we'll be done. So we'll just come down here. I'm going to stop the Autopilot on this one, on the Dow. We'll slide down here to a limit order, and we'll say, okay, we'll put in a limit order and run it up to $500. And say if it hits $500, we'll just take it off, and we'll be done. $500. There you go. Let's put it right on $500. I ran over a little bit. Okay, 100 ticks. If it makes 100 ticks, $500, hey, we'll just take it off. We'll be happy with that. All right. We could come in and look at our spreadsheet. Let's look at our spreadsheet again. We got our spreadsheet set in here. Our goal is $368 for the day. Actually, we got to bring that down. We missed a couple of days. Can you guys remember what we did on Monday? I think we screwed up in here somewhere and I missed some stuff. I don't know. Let's bring this down. Because so far today, we're up $800. 361 yesterday. So that means that if we're going to go for a 1% goal, 1% a day, we've already met our 1% goal. But $380 is our goal. And we could put our goal at 380 instead of 500. So we could come down here and say, well, I want to get out of my goal of 380. So we'll put that at 380. Went too far. 375, 380. Can you see that right there? Down there on my screen, I'm changing that limit order to be $380. That's my goal. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to start the Autopilot. All right, so that's my goal on the Dow. Now, the Dow is way below the VWAP. We may never get back up to the VWAP. Who knows? Might happen around noontime. I don't know. You never know, right? Nobody knows. But we're going to play the VWAP. All right, so let's come back over here. So here we are on the NASDAQ. So as it crossed the VWAP, we got long. Now it's coming back down and it's testing that VWAP again. Lousy thing. That's the micro mini. That's all right. We'll let it play on the micro mini. The micro mini is 10 times smaller, remember? So it's 10 times smaller. Now, what we want to do is we want to come over and we want to set up. Oh, look, we're getting the Russell. The Russell. Do we want to put that on the Russell too? We could do that before it hits the Russell. We could put a $500 tag on the Russell, or on the Russell, we'll just let it go. Let's just let it go. This is the micro mini, so hitting $500 on the micro mini, it's gonna have to really move. All right, so we're gonna come and put our option on the S&P. So let's come in here, and I'm gonna change this over to, let's go to the 2-minute chart. Oh, not 15. 2-minute chart. I had problems this morning, and I put my old mouse back on, and I couldn't get it to work. I put my new mouse on. I couldn't get it to work. The microphone wasn't working, and then I couldn't get the camera to work, and then I could get the camera to work, but I couldn't get the microphone to work, and then I got the microphone to work, but not the camera to work, but my mouse would work. And I was just like, I just kept going in circles, and I couldn't get everything in combination to work. And I could turn it off, turn it back on, turn everything off, turn it back on, replug it all back in. I couldn't get anything to work. I was just so frustrated. I don't know what happened. My computer just decided to give up the ghost. Yeah, this computer's I've had this computer for a couple of years. Maybe it's time to get a new one. I don't know, maybe 3 years I've had this computer. It's been the best computer I've ever had, though. It's been a really nice, it's a nice Dell XPS, really beautiful little computer, and I really loved it. I don't want to have to replace it. All right, let's come in here, and what are we going to do? This is the 2-minute S&P 500. So the S&P, have we got the VWAP on? We don't even have the VWAP on this one. Where's it at, just for fun? Oh, it's right there testing look at that. Went right up and touched it. And then, ouch, hot. Turned and ran away. Stochastics is right up there. But we're going to be right where we want to be, aren't we? We're kind of right there at the neutral zone. So we're going to come in here. We're going to go to 0. Actually, we're going to put our wings on first. We always want to put our insurance on first if we're going to put them on separate tickets. And we're going to go out 1 day. All right, that worked really well yesterday to do what we could do 2 days. Let's go look at the options chain and see what the difference is. We could do 2 days. If we do 2 days, that would expire on Friday and have higher volume, higher interest. Let's see how that looks. Well, open interest volume's not very good on that. How about that? It's not very good. Let's go see 1 day. Ooh, it's even worse. $800, $31. What's the spread? $12.50. It's really the spread that we're concerned about. 2 days, the spread is $12.50. Still $12.50. 25, 25. It's about the same. The volume is, I don't think we'll have a problem getting out. It'll be getting in. I don't think we'll have a problem with either one of those. So that's $1,000 a piece. This one here is $800 a piece. Let's just for fun, let's do the 2 days. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy those. Right? So we're going to buy these at the monies. Okay, let's go ahead and buy them. Buy. And we're going to buy that one. We're just going to do one. We're not going to get crazy and start doing 10 at a time yet. All right. They're going to come in here. I'm not going to mark it in. Programmer said, don't mark it in. They said we've found that we've got better luck if you don't use the market order on this, especially in the demo, because they said they'll give you lousy fills. They'll do that on purpose in the demo, and then you'll be mad at me. You'll yell because you didn't get the right fill that you wanted. So use the limit orders. Okay, so we're buying these, so we have to go to the ask. It's $42.50. So place the order with the limit order. All right, so we got in. That was not a market order. So we got in right at the money. So now we're going to go ahead and go to 0 days till expiration, and we're going to sell these two, right? So we're going to sell this one, and we're going to sell this one. And we're not going to use a market order like I usually do. And we got to go to the bid on this one because we're selling. So we got to $17.75. Did I get it? I got it. Oh, look, well, they're kind of gap between them. They're not, the market moved in between. So we sold the ones above and we bought the ones below. I don't know how that's going to turn out. They're not right on top of each other. I don't know if it'll matter. It's one strike away. I don't know if that'll matter. Well, let's try it and see what happens. All right, so we bought We bought a 2-day straddle, 2-day straddle, 2-day straddle, and a 2-day, and we sold a 2-day straddle, but we didn't put them right on top of each other. They're one strike apart. I don't know if it'll matter. We'll see. Probably won't matter. All right, so that's our wild eye, crazy eye, iron butterfly, and it's not even an iron butterfly. I don't know what the heck that thing is. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing we did. All right, so we're good with weird in this class because we do lots of weird stuff. It's going to skew our delta cone of probability just a little bit, but we're okay with that. All right, so it just crossed below the VWAP on the NASDAQ. It crossed down, crossed up, crossed down again. So now we've had 2 false entries on the NASDAQ. Let's go take a look and see what that's done to us. So we're going to go to closed positions, chart, NASDAQ. We're down $65 on that rotten little dog right there. So see, if it sits there and just bounces back and forth across the VWAP, that's not good. We don't want it to do that. We want it to hit the VWAP and leave the VWAP. Say goodbye, see ya, history. But look, it's going to try and cross the VWAP again. And it's going to reverse us and flip us one more time. Look, the Russell's sitting right there at the VWAP. Did we put a limit on the Russell? I think we did, right? Can't remember. Yeah, we did. No, we didn't. On the Russell, we did not. We can let that one go. The Russell, we're just going to see how far to go. This is the Dow is the one we put the limit on at 380 to meet our goal. And then the NASDAQ, that rotten thing just crossed over the VWAP again. Now we're down $89 on the stupid NASDAQ, and that's on the micro mini. It just keeps crossing, flipping back and forth across the VWAP. Look at that. Down, up, down, up, down, up. We got to get away from the VWAP. Get away from the VWAP, you rotten little dog. This market's just dead today, and it's not going to do anything. Cross back and forth across the VWAP. Probably not the best day to put this strategy on, but I wanted to teach it to you and show you, see what happens. All right, so that's our strategy. And really today, there's not much more we can do. We just sit and watch it and see how it tears our wheels off. We didn't, look at that. On the Russell, it went right up, touched the VWAP. Didn't get us in long, and now it's flushing away from the VWAP. We could manually put it on and say, well, it should have hit it. Let's put it on there. So we put one on the VWAP. It'll reverse if it goes up above the VWAP, but if it now flushes, we'll have it. So we started that one manually. This one here, we're not ready to start this one manually. We'll see if it won't go up there a little higher first. But now the NASDAQ's going to have to go far enough away from the VWAP. It's got a $100 buffer it's got to cover because it's gone back and forth, this stupid thing. Lane started the Russell one manually because it went up and touched it, but it didn't cross enough to throw arrows. And then it looked like it was starting to fall, so I just threw that one in. Now we just need it to go away from the VWAP, leave the VWAP, never come back, stay as far away from the VWAP as you can get. I don't know, did we put a limit order on that one? Take profits off? No, we didn't do. The only one we're taking the limit off on is the Dow, and it's not even hit the. You're going to take $380 off on that one, if it ever hits it. Oh, look at the Russell. Russell's going to go back up and cross the VWAP and take us for a hit. Is it? We don't know. Nobody knows. That's why you turn it on. Down $100 on the NASDAQ already. Wow. All right, this is a long-term strategy, though. You can't sit here and cry over spilt milk. Market's got to really just go a long ways away from the VWAPs. Just got to get out there. And I haven't done it on the Dow, so the Dow is just going to stay like that. All right, I've got a Sunday school lesson for you. I've actually got that for you. So we'll do a Sunday school lesson. And then... All right. Avoid distracted trading. We talked about that yesterday, our Sunday school lesson. Avoid distracted trading. Remember this one here. Avoid distracted trading. This is just another reminder. Avoid distracted trading. Stay focused. Turn off your cell phones. Avoid text calls, interruptions. I once missed an $1,800 trade because my friend texted me right when I was getting ready to take a position. All right, that was written up in Pit News Magazine. If you remember Pit News Magazine, those of you who been here, probably most of you have Pit News Magazine. And so, oh, that's right. Kirk's reminding me Monday was Memorial Day. It was closed. Oh, look, we just crossed the NASDAQ again. Doggone it, that rotten little dog. Just crossed the bat. The look at that. All those little purple arrows. Chart overlay. We're going to turn off the ATR. We don't need that. All those little purple arrows is what it's saying. It's just going back and forth, and just ripping our wheels off here. It's not leaving the VWAP. Market's just absolutely dead. Look, down $138. Wow, think about that. If that was the mini, not the micro mini, we'd be down $1,380. That thing's just gone back and forth across the VWAP, and it's just killing us. Just killing us. Well, it looks like we're going to get killed right here on the Russell, and it's down $150 already because I went in manually. I didn't let it do it. I thought it might fall and flush right there. This one never did hit. ATR. We don't need ATR. We're just going to play this one here, and it's not even touched it yet. So we haven't. The Dow, we got nothing. So this is going to be a long-term play. We got to see let it run all day. I'm going to let it run right until the close of the New York stock market. All right, we'll come back and we'll see how we do. Got 3 markets running, plus we got our autopilot up there. All right, so that's our Sunday school lesson. Just be careful when you're trading. Stay focused. You know, if you're going to do this type of trading, well, you got it on autopilot. You can go text all you want. There's nothing else to do but sit and watch. Best thing to do is not fiddle with it, usually, when you turn it on autopilot. Usually we screw it up by fiddling with it. That's what I generally do. So I apologize today for being late. Let's come say hi to a few people. We got Gary Thomas coming in at number 1. Gary's like, hey, wait a second, Lan, I came in number 1 today. There we are. Gary's got his number 1 point. Bruce R. coming in number 2. Good morning, Lan, everyone. Sorry I was late this morning. We got Michael Bruce coming in there. Michael Bruce, you've been having that same picture for the last few days. I want to see that changed up. All right. So we got Kirk Schwartz coming in saying good morning. We've got Kim Moss. Beautiful morning. It is a beautiful morning. Yep. Except for my computer was dead. Now it's no fun. And then Monday was closed as a Memorial Day. So let me go see. Bring up our spreadsheet now that I was reminded Monday was a holiday. So Monday was a holiday. We got to mark that off as holiday. Where's our colors? This one? Yeah. It's a pretty color for holiday. Right there. That was our holiday. So holiday, we better make a note in there. Why there's new note. Holiday. All right. Sometimes I'll mark that like this just so that because I keep looking at it and the next day I'll forget that was a holiday again. I'll be like, what the heck was that? I can't remember what Thursday we didn't trade that one either. Was that a holiday? Don't remember why we didn't trade that one either. I didn't even put a note. All right. So we got an $814 buffer and we're burning through that thing right now. Burning through our $814 buffer with our strategy here on the NASDAQ already. How are we doing up here? Positions. We're up $17 on our options. So it's doing its job. It's just sitting there doing nothing. All right. But I'm going to let the insurance policy run overnight. That was the idea, right? We're going to see if in the morning, at the morning bell, we're going to get a lot of implied volatility off that thing. If that thing won't run up there and our insurance policies pay off big tomorrow morning. And then we're going to take our sold options off before the market closes. And oh, look, the Russell's getting ready to cross the VWAP, and I'm short. So that's going to kill us for $165 because I took that short position early, worried that maybe the market might flush right there. It started to look like it was coming down. I thought, well, let's get in. If it's leaving the VWAP, I want to be in. And that was a mistake. It's still going up to the VWAP. Take it off land now. Take it off land now. Well, what if it falls right now and doesn't cross the VWAP once again? Nope, it's going to cross 1 minute. We got 46 seconds, and if it's going to throw an arrow and it's going to reverse our position, we're going to go long, take a $185 loss. Land, what did you fiddle with it for? I told you. Usually I lose money when I fiddle with my strategies. Oh, I know better than the strategy. I'll just do this. And then it's like, oh, if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have lost $185. $185. That's nothing. That's nothing. Oh, that's nothing. I make $10,000 a day. Oh, wait, that's the other guy on the other channel. Let's see if it's going to flip here. We'll watch it flip. We got 3 seconds left to go. It's got to close above the VWAP and it'll flip. It didn't flip. So it didn't close above the VWAP. Didn't like it. These are Heikin-Ashi bars. So the numbers weren't there. Saved by the bell. Now, if it falls, we'll still be back in good shape. It went up there and touched it. Now see if it'll flush out of there. All right. We could reset it. we could get rid of this one and reset it right on the VWAP. Land, quit fiddling with it. Just quit fiddling with it. Look at how beautiful the Dow's doing. The Dow's been the greatest market lately, hasn't it? Holy cow, the Dow's been doing really well. The Dow has been such a beautiful market the last few days. It didn't ever get up to the VWAP. We may never get that one off. Put it in, land. Put it in. Well, that's a long ways away. Because if we walk away, that'd be a $340 loss if we flip that thing, if it went back up to it. Yeah, but look what you're missing. I know, but this is a long-term strategy. Calm your bones. Calm your bones. Oh, look. This rotten little thing just keeps going back and forth across the VWAP. The others won't go up to the VWAP. This one won't leave the VWAP. Rotten NASDAQ. We need to go over to the stock market and look at some of these other markets. We need to go look at, see what our options are doing over on the stock market. We haven't done. How about we do that tomorrow? Come back. Michael Bruce, you laughing at me? So we'll do that tomorrow. How about that? We'll come and we'll check out and see what this strategy turned out for us, if it made us any money. And then we'll look at their stock options tomorrow and see how our options are doing. We got a bunch of options over there. We've not been tending them, and I've not been tending them offline. So we might have some. It's like, oh man, Lan, if you'd have just looked at that, you'd have made a whole bunch of money, and it went up, made a whole bunch of money, and then flushed and lost it all. That could have been happening. It's a demo account, and I don't pay a lot of attention to it because I'm trading my real money account after these classes are over. So I don't go in and fiddle around with the demo account very often. Once in a while I will, just to try and make sure that we're not getting killed. But I want to do it with you guys. So we'll go do that tomorrow. We'll do options. Tomorrow will be stock options day. All right. And we'll review our accounts, see where everything's sitting. All right, not a lot to do. Just sit here and watch paint dry. So I'm going to let you guys go. We had our Sunday school lesson. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And I will look to see you guys tomorrow where we'll do stock options. All right. See you tomorrow. And we'll let you know how this turns out. I'm going to let it run all day.